I hope you're having an awful day, because I'm about to cheer you up with people who are having even worse days than you, starting with an adorable jellyfish painting hung for everyone to see. I mean, it is just a painting of a jellyfish. It doesn't look like anything else to me. It doesn't look like those tentacles could potentially be veins. Do jellyfish have blood? I don't think they do, so there aren't any veins in jellyfish. It's just tentacles and the head of a jellyfish. I don't know what you're talking about. This doesn't look like anything else that I can possibly think of in the world. Valor got me this adorable jellyfish painting for my bathroom since it's beach themed. Love it so much. Also, it's not a jellyfish. It's a jelly. Jellies are not fish, so therefore it's not a jellyfish, just like it's not a starfish, okay? It's a sea star and a jelly. They ain't fish. Poor Megan. I mean, there is the thing called the color run, where you like do a run and you try to raise money for charity and you just get hit by lots of paint while you're doing it. So just pretend you did the color run. Honestly, it's probably pretty easy to do that when trying to pry open a jar of paint. But it's weird. Why do paint cans have that like stick a screwdriver in and pop the top off kind of mechanism rather than just having like a screw off top? I'm sure there's a reason, but I can't think of it. Is it that the threading would just get inundated by paint and wouldn't work anymore after the fact? I don't know though. It'd be so much easier than something you could pop it off and then the whole thing just goes flying and gets all over Megan. Poor Megan. Well, that sucks. I waved to a man because I thought he waved at me. Apparently he waved to another woman. So to get out of the awkward situation, I kept my hand up and a taxi pulled over and drove me to the airport. I'm now in Poland starting a new life. That's some real commitment right there. They might not have known after you drove away that anything had happened. They probably didn't think twice, but you were absolutely committed. What if they get in the taxi behind me and then they see me get out like a few hundred yards down the road and then they realize that I was in fact waving to them and not at the taxi? They might know, so I have to go all the way, and then maybe they're going to the airport as well, and then they'll see me, and if I just flip a U-turn and catch a taxi right back at the airport, like, they're gonna think I'm weird. I can't have that. I have to actually go and buy a plane ticket and leave and start a new life. It's the only solution here. Not the usual way of finding out about an eye condition. Bro, I actually saw this tweet the other day on Twitter. Well, the other 20 days ago. Wow, I saw this before it appeared on this subreddit. And I saw a bunch of people who I was following being like, wait a minute, I didn't know that this was a thing. Wait, not everyone sees those lines. Astigmatism is when the cornea is slightly curved rather than completely round, and you see these sorts of lines rather than it looking like that. I think everyone kind of looks at this and second guesses themselves, because if you ever have like a little bit of watery buildup in your eyes, you know, after you're just crying a whole bunch because you're unwell, that sucks, and it makes you really empathetic and you shed a few tears. Then that can cause light to sort of distort and you can have some of the lines and stuff. But I even after seeing this, I like paid attention next time I was driving around at night. I was like, wait, yeah, no, okay. I don't get those big lines unless I squint or there's, you know, a buildup of tears. That happens just all the time to me, just tears in my eyes. Then it'll cause the distortion. But otherwise, I think I'm astigmatism free. But apparently a lot of people just discovered from this tweet that they were facing life with astigmatism. But if you didn't know your entire life, it means you're probably doing okay. Oh boy. Sweating because, oh my God. People link this to me on Twitter because I've talked about this before being such a fear of mine. And this person's living it. Sweating because I have a line of wheelchairs waiting to use a handicap stall. Oh my God. Thankfully, this has never taken place for me, but oh boy, there are plenty of times it could have happened. Because sometimes the handicap one's the only one available, and you're like, well, do I just not? Do I wait? Do I wait for another one to open up? That could take ages, and in the meantime, someone else is gonna walk up and stand behind me like, are you not gonna use that? And I'll be like, but someone could come in here in a wheelchair, and then they'll not be able to use the thing, and the person behind me will be like, yeah, but that's never happened, has it? And I'll be like, no, it hasn't, but it could happen. You know what the solution is in that situation? You just roll under into the next stall. There might be someone pooping right there. You're like, I'm so sorry, sir. I know that while you were pooping, you weren't expecting someone to just pop up into your stall from the stall next to you, but there's a wheelchair outside, and my only option here is to pretend that I don't exist and that the stall was just locked the whole time. So Sorry. This is less awkward than me walking and making eye contact with the person in the wheelchair who deserved to use that stall. I'm gonna go start my new life in Poland now. I feel this. It's so bad, even the introverts are here. I'm glad that we don't actually have any signs showing what the political cause here is that everyone is here about, because then I'd have to cut this post because we'd inevitably get into a political discussion. But you know, whatever it is, must be pretty bad if even people like me are out there who are looking at the ground, appearing to be very frustrated at the fact that they were forced to leave their office chair in front of their computer and actually stand out in the sun and get sunburned, because who needs vitamin D in their lives? Definitely not me. That does suck. Told my dad I ran out of alcohol and didn't have any money to buy some for the weekend, so he gave me a huge bottle of vodka from the cupboard that I stole and replaced with water when I was 16. Life really does come back to bite you in the ass. Oh man, it's so funny. I was actually just having a conversation with this the other day at my dad's house, and we were talking about how everyone at one point or another, except me, because living with my mom growing up, she didn't actually have any alcohol. She never drank alcohol. Occasionally, like once every couple of years at a restaurant, she'd have a margarita, but it was, I can probably count on within two hands the amount of margaritas I saw her drink the entirety of my life. Anyway, they were talking about how it's like they'd pour out some vodka and then they'd pour in a little bit of water, so it just gradually over time ends up diluting itself. And then their parents would be like, man, I must be getting really desensitized because these drinks are they're just not as strong as they used to be. 16 years. Wait, oh no, not, you were 16. It hasn't been 16. It could have been 16 years. That's a long time to have a bottle of vodka, I guess. Aged beautifully, I hope, that water. Hey you, don't do your job. At work yesterday, a girl wrote me, you're demonetized. Don't smile at people's mans on the check because I smiled while introducing myself to the whole table because I'm a server and it's my job. Sorry, yeah, no, it's people just suck. And I'm assuming she didn't leave a tip either. That was her tip, was offering a tip, a bit of advice to you on being less friendly to people because she's extremely insecure with herself. So it's just a projection. Don't worry about it. Don't take it to heart. I want there to be like a video, someone whips out their cell phone in a restaurant, of a waiter just being like, nah, this is the last straw. I'm not taking it. And just clapping back at a customer being a dick. Awkward. I'm at the hospital for my mom, and there's a lady complaining about throwing up and having strep. Nurse comes back and tells her she's pregnant, and the girl's mom literally says, no, you're wrong. She's a virgin. Excuse me, nurse, but this test that you gave her, it's wrong. Actually, I would know because my daughter's never lied to me before, and her word is much more accurate than this test that has a 99.99% accuracy. When in a few months her stomach is protruding very significantly, I'll just tell her that she needs to eat less, I guess, because she's not pregnant. Breaking up with a girl on a plane. Paid $6 for in-flight Wi-Fi to tell you this guy just broke up with his girlfriend on the plane and she's sobbing. Man, I don't know. Of all the places that you'd pick up for that, I don't know why you'd be like, yeah, plane, that's the place to do it. You know, the place where we're going to be trapped next to each other for potentially many hours with a lot of other people looking on. No privacy. This is the place to do it. No, not when we like get back home or get to a private location in the car. Just somewhere where we're not going to be stuck together for hours with a lot of other people around you. Maybe that would be the better place to do. Nah, can't wait. No, just gonna do it on the plane. That's where we're gonna do it. It's a good idea. Yep. Really shorty situation. Please stop giving me tickets. I already have 3 this week. I'm obviously broke already. I've ordered my new sticker. It's in the mail. I can't make it here. I can't make it get here faster. Have some mercy. You're ruining my life. Yeah, what do you do about that situation? I wonder if it's a registration sticker. Is it a permit? Yeah, what do you do if you're waiting for something in the mail, but I guess you just have to Uber? But what if it's your car and you only have street parking available at your house and you need a permit for it? You don't have the permit. You must have a way to be able to go to City Hall or something and be like, hi, this is my situation. Can you please help? So I stopped getting tickets, or there's a way to contest the tickets. There's gotta be a way out of this. There must be. I wish you luck, person who wrote this note. That is how it is. It's so crazy. I used to think people in high school were so grown until I was one. Then college students were so cool and had everything together until I was one. Then adults knew everything, and now I'm gonna just tell y'all that no one knows what the fork they're doing and we're just winging it. I mean, that's pretty true. It's also, on a kind of another note of this, I used to, when I was in kindergarten, I'd see a 6th grader and be like, oh my God, you're like the oldest, biggest person I've ever seen. And I got to 6th grade and I'm like, oh wow, no, that's not really the case. And then I'd see like high schoolers and be like, oh, you're the biggest, oldest kid I've ever seen. And I got to high school and I was like, not really. And then I would be like, oh, people who are older in university, they're the biggest, oldest people I've ever seen. And then it became past that and I'm like, nah, I'm just pretty average. Now I'm old and I'm like, I'm the biggest, oldest person I've ever seen, except not really, because now there's actual older adults. I don't feel like I'm an adult. I still feel younger, but then I see my age, and then I'm like, oh God. And then I'm gonna be like 40 and still feel like, oh, I'm not that old. I'm not an adult. And then it's gonna be like, oh no, you're 40. Yeah, it's actually, you're an adult. That's weird. I don't like that. Tony who? Pulling up to drive-through window, girl starts to read back my order and stops herself. You're Tony Hawk. Me, yes. Her, can I tell everyone? I suppose. Her, yo, we got Tony Hawk at the window. Voice from the kitchen. Who? I swear Tony Hawk's Twitter is like half people just like not like recognizing him / not recognizing him / not believing that he's him. It's just it's a whole bunch of just monologues about Tony Hawk going through his day-to-day life being Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk problems. Wait, again. At rental car agency, can't find my name on the monitor to find my car. Go inside and wait in line. Finally get to the front. Agent sees me and says, you really are Tony Hawk. Me, yeah, I was looking for my name outside on the list. Oh, I deleted it because I thought it was fake. Yet again, Tony Hawk goes through the trials and tribulations of being Tony Hawk and being recognized and also not being recognized simultaneously by someone who knows who Tony Hawk is but doesn't realize that this man in fact is Tony Hawk until confronted a second time with, okay, so you really are. No, I thought you were joking. That's cool. It's good to meet you. Need to get across the country? Yeah, I thought he just skateboarded over there. That's disappointing, man. Tony Hawk actually has to use cars like everybody else? Lame. You can do so much good and still be labeled something negative. ExCon skips job interview, takes shirt off his back to save car crash victim. Imagine rescuing someone from a car crash, risking your own life, and then being called an ExCon. You gotta love the subtle unnecessary digs in the titles of news articles sometimes. They do it because they think that if they title it that, it's gonna draw in more people to click than just saying, guy skips job interview, takes shirt off his back to save car crash victim. They have to add that extra subtle dig because it causes people to be like, oh wow, someone who you expected to be not so good actually did something good, and then it devalues the act of the person. So yeah, whenever I'm asked to like participate in any sort of news article, I'm always so skeptical. Because they always try to hit you with like some unnecessary gotcha question about something totally unrelated. This is too true. Before I had kids, I thought I had a great immune system, but it turns out I was just really good at staying away from the type of people who sneeze directly into your eyeballs while telling a story. Your kids honestly probably helped your immune system because, if you didn't have kids, you'd work in your enclosed bubble environment, you wouldn't be exposed to too many outside germs. With kids though, dude, they get back from school, they've taken a bath and all the worst germs out there known to man, and then they're just gonna rub their hands and stuff all over your face, and they're gonna give them to you. So you're gonna build up immunities while also probably getting sick a lot more often. So, positives and negatives. At the end of the day, you're probably better equipped to handle the world, but it's a lot more uncomfortable in the meantime. Yikes. The most well that sucks post of the last month. I was accused of plagiarism by 2 professors and given a big long talk about how seriously it was taken. I was confused and crying at the end. They showed me the art they think I copied, and it was my own art from my own site that had popped up in a Google image search, SMH. in response to what's the dumbest thing you got in trouble for in school. Thanks. I'm really flattered that you guys are fans of my artwork and you found it on the internet. It's pretty cool. So, yep. If only they could have just shown that to you at the very beginning, like, hey, we called you in here for plagiarism. Here's the image that we think you plagiarized, rather than having this whole dramatic buildup of, we know, admit it, tell us the truth. And you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I literally made this myself with no other input from any other individual. And they just keep interrogating you, and finally, like, I guess we'll have to just show her the art that we think she plagiarized. It's like, oh, cool, you guys could have shown me that like an hour ago. All right, well, that's it for the last month of Well, That Sucks. Hopefully you're feeling better now. Make sure to like if you like. Check out the playlist in the description if you want to catch more Well, That Sucks. Subscribe if you're not already. And if you want to listen to the music playing in the background, the link is in the outro over on Mirror Music. I'll see you next time.